Alright guys, welcome back in this video and welcome back to my channel. I once again welcome all of you as the host of the show, as the host of this very channel. It's my okay, it's going really formal, isn't it? So let's just stick to the topic. First off, if you haven't seen my previous video in which I described, okay, am I directing my eyes to a different place? I'm wanting to direct it to where it should direct, but I'm just okay, never mind. If you haven't seen my previous video already in which I described about one of my worst experiences as a speaker, you are requested to watch it if you are coming on this video directly, because in this one I'm actually going to share another experience of mine. So you might want to look into that one because it's in order actually. Like at the time in my very first experience that I shared in my previous video, you'd come to find that I used to practice a lot. Uh, by that time, I hadn't had any opportunities to speak in front of people as a speaker, as an English speaker. But in this very video, I'm going to be talking about another experience of mine, having already experienced a really disastrous experience as an English speaker in front of people in person. So this one is actually going to have some bad blood into it, going further, because this bad blood is related to this previous experience. So coming up in other experiences, I would want to showcase my talent. Not actually talent, it's more of a skill. Sometimes, being absolutely honest, I actually think of it not even a skill, because when I jump onto platforms, let's say that I jump onto an English speaking platform, wherein there are hundreds of learners, if not thousands of learners, wanting to improve, wanting to either improve their accent or fluency or vocabulary or grammatical skills. I feel as if I'm someone special. However, when I go off and let's say I join another platform, or maybe just in my work life, wherein I get to experience people, I get to see that they are making at the very top of the games without even having to have a really exceptional English speaking skills. So that is also a phase that I go through every day, and that makes me realize and makes me in a situation wherein I get confused, I get skeptical. Okay, is it a skill or is it not? Because you don't get to see it. Uh, but again, you got my point, right? So it's always like in the 50-50 skills thing. Now, having experience in my first video, not the first video, but in the previous video in which I talked about one of my worst experiences, this is also one of my worst experiences, but it's not as bad as the previous one. So now this isn't me being in school, but rather me being in college. So you see, years have passed. You see, I've gained more experience. Not in person experience, but I've gained more experience as a speaker, speaking online with people, uh, thousands of people, if not more than that. Till then, till the time when I had this another experience of mine. What happened? You see, it's a really generic pattern. It's a really generic, you could say, very usual kind of an experience. What is an usual kind of an experience? If you are talking about an English speaking experience, a bad one, essentially, it's the fact that there is a debate going on, a competition that you have participated in, and now the time comes, you're expected by people to speak or to debate on specific topics. You go onto the stage, your name is announced, and you go onto the stage. This is me basically telling the experience. Before my name was announced, I was sitting on the chair expecting my name to be announced. This particular feeling, before you have your name announced, before you arrive on the stage, this particular feeling that okay, now is my time. if you haven't had already experienced that, it's going to be chilling for you. It's going to be really, really, uh, you know, first time. It's going to be really, really nervous, and it's all natural. It happens. So for me, it was the same. Once my name got announced, by the way, I had participated in that competition. So my job was to simply go onto the stage, deliver my lines, go off the stage, and that's all. Sounds simple, right? It wasn't that simple for me at the time. My name got announced, I go onto the stage, I see people looking at me, I see myself looking at those people, I see them expecting. I fell into the trap of expectations, something that I shouldn't have fallen in. So what happened? As a result, it went under my skin. Uh, to be precise, I saw flashbacks of what I had experienced already. You remember if you had seen the previous video in which I described one of my worst experiences, I said that I only said three magical words to the invigilators who had come to, have a view on a project, and I said, "Good afternoon, sir." Those three were the only words that I had said, that I had spoken, and after that, I went completely blank in that presentation. Eventually, my friends had to come up and use Hindi, not English, to sum up the entire procedure, the entire description of the project. Here in this very case, I saw a similar pattern. I witnessed a similar pattern. So in this one as well, I said good afternoon to everyone, not sir. So this was an improvement, something new. Good afternoon to everyone, and as expected, a complete silence in the room. Nothing to be heard from my mouth, nothing to be expected from myself. Only one thing was being expected from myself was, and that was from a lot of people, from all the people, that I say something. For about 10 seconds or so, I believe it was completely silence after I spoke those words, good afternoon to everyone. And after those 10 seconds, you see, you got to you've got to think in that perspective that you're being in that moment and you are just standing still. Okay, now when I'm talking about it, I may not be able to experience when I'm talking about it, but when I was in that situation, I know how it feels like. So after those 10, 12 seconds, 10, 12, uh, dark seconds or really painful seconds, I somehow encouraged myself to speak up, and I did. Although not in the way I wanted to, not in the style that I wanted to deliver, but I had to do something. It's called improvising on the go. So I had to improvise on the go with whatever resources I had, with whatever way of speaking or styling I had. It might have not looked that comfortable, it might have not looked that confident, but I had to go with the flow. That's what I did. Completed my speech or slash my couple of lines slash 5 or 7 lines or whatever. Got a small applaud. Went off the stage, sat on my chair, and said to myself, "Finally, you've made it. You did it." And it was it. So again, I wouldn't rate it as bad as the previous experience in which I couldn't really do much. This was something that I did, in which I did something. Although it came after that gap of 10, 12 seconds of painful seconds. And also to the extent, not to the extent that I had expected it to. So once again, this is a testimony that things happen, such experiences occur. You get to learn from bad experiences, and you perform later on the way you want to, having experienced those bad experiences. So it's inevitable. that you go through these. So, all right, people, that's it for today. That's it for this very video. I'll come up with something else down the line. Till then, bye bye, take care, and stay safe.